I was like, no, we can't help you. I'm sorry. You have to go sort yourself out before we can, attend to you and all of that. I'm like, the devil is a liar. Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be gisting with you guys, basically telling you how we got our SIN, our health card, and also an apartment. Let me get right into it. Immediately we landed Canada, the first thing we did was to get a SIM card, of course, to communicate, and then to get our Uber to the city that we're staying at. We got to the city, we called our friend that stays there, and he gave us a location. That's the word. He gave us a location and we hung out. It was like this little pool party vibe, and we chilled that day. It was really cool. It was nice. It was sweet. The next day, the hustle began. We went to get our SIN, and that was at Service Canada. We got there around 10 because in our mind, this is the abroad, and I don't think we need to rush and all of that. So we got there around 10. When I tell you there was already a queue, there was already a long ass queue, and so we joined. This was around 10. By the time it was 2 p.m., this woman comes out and she's like, oh, we're done for the day. You guys have to come back tomorrow. We don't have enough hands to handle, blah, blah, blah. And that's how we didn't get anything done that day. We went back. And the next day, you know that we got there by 6, 7 a.m. because you know that I'm not about, like, I was pregnant and I stood like from 10 to 2. It wasn't a funny experience. So the next day by 6, 7, we're already at the forefront. I was the second person, my husband was the third person. We got our SIN. It was a pretty easy process. Your name and relevant questions are going to ask you. And we got our SIN there and then. And that was it. From there, we decided to go get our health card because the health card was particularly important to me, because I wanted to have my baby and not pay out of pocket. Now, how this thing works is, they have 2 queues for people who already booked beforehand and for people who just walk in. And they were attending to people who booked before people walk in. And we just walked in. So we're on this long queue. And it's like they attend to one person. Once they have people on this queue, they are back to attending to them back to back. And that day was really bad for me. I was having this crazy ass tummy pain. I was a mess. I was squatting the whole time. And I didn't want to go back home because I needed to get that card. So I was like, John, I'm going to take this pain. I need this paper more than anything else. So I waited till it was our turn. And then we got in, and the guy gives us a form and tells us what to fill. And we're done filling everything, and we get back to him and he's like, oh, I need this, I need that. And the one thing he asked for that we did not have was a document that had our address, like a bill that we pay. And we're explaining to him that, oh, we're new in this country, we're new immigrants, we've not started paying bills yet, we don't have that paper you're looking for. But we stay with this person, right? And this is the electric bill that the person paid, so you can confirm our address and all of that, because I think the address was really important to them. And the guy was like, no, we can't help you, I'm sorry, you have to go sort yourself out before we can, attend to you and all of that. I'm like, the devil is a liar. The devil is a very big liar, because what kind of rough play is this? How are we supposed to have a bill in like 3 days? How is it supposed to work? It wasn't making any sense. Like, I was so scared at that point because I could just give birth anytime. We took our L and we headed back to the hotel. Now, when we got back, I called a friend and she's like, oh, I think you guys should go to the Service Ontario out of town. And we're like, okay, let's try it. And so we tried. And in my heart, I'm like, it's not the same Service Ontario. It's not the same government body. Like, they're literally going to tell us the same thing. Like, you guys should go and get this, go and get that. But I'm like, let's just do it. So me and my husband went there. We got our turn, and this woman asked for the same thing. And we explained to her, we're like, we do not have any bills that we're paying right now because we're new in the country. But this is our address. This is where we're staying. And this is a bill. Like, this is a bill that they've paid. You can confirm our address and all of that. And she took the paper from us and she went, and it took a little while. And then she came back and she was about to say something to us and she was like, hold on. And then she went back. When she did that, I was scared. I'm like, what's this one going to say now? She's going to tell us, you guys have to come back when you sorted yourself and all of that. I was scared. And she's talking to her colleague right beside us. And next thing, she comes to us and like, oh yeah, that's fine. I can help you guys out. I was so happy because what were we supposed to do if that woman had said, oh no, we can't help you guys out? That had just been the end, literally. This man attended to us, gave us our health insurance. Is this paper, right? So they'll give you a paper first of all, and then they'll mail you the actual card to you. And that's how that was sorted. That is how that was sorted. In 3 freaking days. Me, I got my health card 2 days after. I headed to the hospital to let them know that, okay, I'm here and all of that. I just went like I was having an emergency. I was having an emergency. I was having serious tummy pain and I was purging a lot. And I was scared what's going on in my body. So I had to rush to the hospital. And that's how, I got registered. I started doing like checkups and all of that. They told me to come back at this time. They checked me. I did different tests. Basically, it was just known that, oh, you're going to give birth at this time. And we handled those two things. The issue of house hunting. When we landed, the first thing we did was to stay in a hotel. And then from there, we moved into an Airbnb. Now, that Airbnb, I'm like, we're going to stay here for just 4 or 5 days. I was working with Faith. I'm like, before the end of the time that we pay for, we're going to find a place. We are definitely going to find a place by the grace of God. Let me even gist you guys. Before we came into Canada, we were already looking for a place. We have a friend who was helping us. He was checking, sending us apartments to choose, trying to get, book a date where he could go see and send us videos and, all of that. He was really trying for us. But it didn't work out. So, we got here and we started the whole process again, trying to search. And the thing is, these people are not just in a hurry to give you the key to any apartment. They do their checks properly before they're like, oh, welcome. There's this apartment we saw downtown. We went there to look at it and it was like a little cubicle. The room was so tiny. I'm like, we cannot do this. I know we're desperate at this point. We really need to find a place because I need to be comfortable. My baby is coming. I need to have a place where my baby is going to sleep. We need to have our apartments basically. I'm like, no, we're not going to take that. Let's keep looking. And so we continue searching and we're not seeing anything tangible. And my friend, she hits me up. She's like, oh, there's this space that I found in another friend's apartment building. She's like, there's a vacancy here. Do you want to try? Do you want to check? I'm like, okay. She booked the appointment and we came and we saw the place. It was really nice. It wasn't bad. The space was big. It was big enough and it was cute. And we're right in front of what will I call it now? The sunset comes right through our window. It was just beautiful. I'm like, we're definitely taking this place. We saw like 3 different apartments in 2 different buildings in like the same area. And it wasn't bad. We're like, okay, let's do this. We had one more day in our Airbnb. And the next day, for us to get into the apartment, we needed a reference. Again, my friend stood in place for us as our reference. So we got the apartment. But we need to move in as soon as possible. Normally, they'll tell you, oh, you can move in at this time. They'll give you like a time period. I'm like, no, we need to move in like ASAP. And she's like, okay, she can do that for us. We need to just make our first and last month payments and sign the lease and all of that. So we came in like the next day, we signed the lease, we did everything, and that's how we got an apartment. It was so smooth. I thank God for my friends really because they helped. We signed our lease and we got the apartment. I'm going to post a video here of the apartment where we moved in, how empty it was. First thing we did was to buy this rug, and that's where we slept for like 2 days or like 3 days before we got our bed and all of that. And I didn't even mind because my body I wasn't enjoying lying on the bed anymore. My tummy was, I don't know, when I stayed on the bed, I used to feel very, I don't know, I'd rather stay on the floor. So staying on the rug was not even a big deal. My body was very comfortable and it was cool. That's how we got our apartment. That's how we got our SIN. That's how we got the health card. I wanted to share with you guys and just complete the whole series of how we got to Canada and how we settled in. Thank you for staying with me. It's your girl, Dupree.